Are you looking for a project portfolio management solution that allows you to optimize the resources of your enterprise in terms of capacity? Then, you might be interested in TPG's Portfolio Manager. TPG's Portfolio Manager is designed by seasoned portfolio management professionals with a proven track record in its implementation approach and in delivering results that targets the strategic aspects of resource management. How? You can optimize resource utilization by simple drag and drop mouse operations. Simulate the current state of projects graphically, resulting in an updated view of the impacts on the resources involved, plus gives you a summary overview of all resource allocations, that is, project data and other tasks. The benefit? It allows you to detect over-allocations of resources quickly, react in a timely fashion, plus it helps improve the whole coordination process between project and resource managers. Additionally, you gain visibility across all new and ongoing projects, which helps make decisions as to if and when capacity is available to undertake new projects. So what does TPG Portfolio Manager look like? As I will show you in Portfolio Manager in just a moment, the user interface depicts the project scenario in the top project summary section or window pane over time and as horizontal bars for both ongoing and new projects. The ongoing or running projects are drawn using dark blue bars and the new projects by a lighter blue. Below this top project summary window pane is the resources window pane. This is where the resource requirements for the projects in the scenario being analyzed are displayed. The resources can be grouped by numerous metadata such as department, team, resource breakdown structure, etc., as illustrated here. Each department is represented by histograms over a desired time frame, chosen for analysis. Again, the blue and the lighter blue colors used in these vertical histograms represent the running and the new projects of this scenario, respectively. In addition, there is a horizontal line that represents the resource capacity for each of our departments. If the resource requirements or the demand in a particular time frame, example a month, is beyond and above the available capacity of that department, then the histogram is drawn in red above this line. Using the same scheme, that is dark red and a lighter red or pink for demand that stems from the running and new projects respectively. As you can tell, this color scheme makes it easy to identify if the project demand is coming from ongoing or new projects. What type of scenarios does TPG Portfolio Manager cover? They are what-if scenario simulations, and we will be demonstrating 3 actions that can be taken to address the resource requirements of any project portfolio. For one, you can postpone or prioritize projects. This scenario aims to show how projects can be moved or pushed forward into the future or pulled back if necessary. Looking at the histogram on each of the resource rows, we get an overview of the resource demand, making it easy to see where the overload of work or available capacity and where that demand is coming from. That is, new or ongoing projects. Again, we can use and we will use these visual cues to help address these things. Secondly, deactivating or abandoning projects. In this scenario, we will simulate how we can overcome resource capacity issues by abandoning or deactivating a new project opportunity and see the impact of such actions on affected resource capacity. And the third and last scenario option is to adjust resource availability or capacity. In this scenario, our demonstration will simulate and solve the problem of overallocation by making adjustments to the resource capacity, like hiring additional employees. Now, for each of these scenarios just described, let's proceed to demo each one of them in turn. Scenario 1, postponing a project. For this first scenario, the objective being the elimination of the overallocation of work, which appears in light red in the histogram, by using the move command to help solve the problem of the limited resource capacity. To do this, we'll start as follows. We select the scenario ribbon and proceed by clicking the Open Scenario. Here's the dialog box with all the scenario files that have been created and saved. You will notice to the left of the scenario names a vertical bar. If the bar is a light green, the scenario can be opened and edited. If it is a dark green, that means that the file was left in the edit mode when it was closed. This means that you can open it and continue editing it. When the bar is gray, you cannot edit it, but you can open it and perform a save as operation in order to enable editing it by making a copy of such a scenario. The one I'm going to choose for our demonstration has projects already set up with projects in it. No TPG PortfolioManager can be set up to pull in its data from Microsoft Project and from other TPG applications like Team Manager, or even extend it to pull and push information to and from pretty much any third-party planning solution. When opening and working with a scenario, it is possible to arrange the tabular information that we see on the left side of the screen in a manner that is convenient and meets the user's needs. For example, in the upper project table view, select Group By within the program column title. This causes the projects of this scenario to be grouped by their respective program that they are attributed to. Doing this grouping helps consolidate and summarize projects in such groupings quickly and with ease. The Remove group returns the grouping order to its initial state. We can do the same in the lower window pane, the Resources table, where all the resources associated to the projects used in this scenario are displayed. Using the Resource Breakdown Structure RBS column, we select the Group By option to demonstrate such grouping. Note the RBS metadata is leveraged from Microsoft's projects and portfolio management solution, server and online enterprise versions. And again, we can clear the grouping using the Remove Group option to undo the selected grouping. If desired, multiple levels of grouping can be set using associated metadata for the upper and lower window panes for the projects and resources respectively. This will help achieve the focus desired. Besides the tables on the left side of the upper and lower window pane and to the right side of the splitter bar, information about these projects and resources is presented over time. We can have the project information displayed as Gantt bars and or using numerical information such as work. For the resource portion, a histogram view with numerical information such as capacity, demand, and the difference between these two. Regardless of group setting, the scenario will always contain a summarized row for the projects and the resources. The information display can be controlled using checkboxes found in the Show group of the project and resource ribbons. The options available on these ribbons are context sensitive, which means that you will need to make the project or resource window panes active in order to enable the features of these ribbons. Now, let's continue our dive into our first scenario where we will be rescheduling using the Move command. To resolve the overallocation situation, we see below in our histograms for our resources that have been grouped by their RBS, I have decided to select to move programs 3 and 4 into the future, where there is a roll-off of resource demand and available capacity. I select the respective checkboxes on the left side of the project table for these two programs. Doing so, the move operation will include and apply the move to all the projects that are associated to these programs as a whole. The resulting change is visible now on the right side of the splitter bar. When looking at rows selected, they have been shifted by 3 months. This operation resulted in successfully reducing the overallocated work of the associated resources, as evidenced in the reduction of red peaks within the histogram views for our resources, seen below and to the right side of our window pane. When we started this first scenario demonstration, we used the open icon that's located within the scenario group under the scenario ribbon in order to open our file. There are other commands located there that you might desire and find helpful when using PortfolioManager, such as Reload Scenario, Edit Mode. This needs to be enabled before edits are possible. A scenario can only be enabled if the scenario was previously closed in read mode before it was opened, or it's opened by the same user who in a previous session left it in edit mode. Read mode, for viewing only, allows others with permissions to edit it and make changes. Save, save as, used to create new scenarios by making copies of existing scenarios. Set baselines, makes it possible to capture scenario data, and close. This completes our demonstration for our first scenario. Now on to the second scenario. Scenario 2, deactivating or abandoning projects. For this second scenario, we will be deactivating projects by using the inactive command to solve the resource capacity problem. To do this, we select the projects to be inactivated from the projects table view. Groups or individual projects can be selected for such an operation. In this scenario, we select all of the projects within Program 4's grouping. By clicking on the triangle to the left of its name, it expands and we can see its list of projects. By looking at the project state column, we can see that these are all new projects. With the project selected and the project window pane active, the project ribbon will reveal the inactive command. After selecting it, we will see to the right side of the splitter bar, that is the time phase portion of our views, that the projects have been deactivated and the resource requirements reduced. Note, the activate command can be used to reverse such operations or decisions. Next, our third and last what-if scenario for our demonstration. Scenario 3 is about adjusting resource availability. We can also eliminate resource overallocations to resolve resource capacity issues by adjusting assignments, by adding resources, changing existing assignments to assign more availability from already assigned resources, and/or adding to the capacity of resources by adding new resources to the existing resource pool. All these options are possible. To do so, we may want or need at times to better isolate the data within these views to perform such operations. Here, we select one or more resource that we are interested in addressing. We can filter the project view to display projects corresponding to the selected resources by using the resource ribbon's Filter Projects and select the filter with selected resources. We have a corresponding filter in the project ribbon as well. This filtering permits us to zero in, analyze, and address the resource overallocation situations that need to be addressed. Edits to the resource demand can be made by expanding either the project's resource assigned work details in the upper left window pane or below in the resource window pane, where we can display and edit the capacity rows as well. Adding capacity to generic resources would simulate adding new resources to a team. These cells can be edited to reduce the overallocation situations that are displayed in red. Underutilizations can also be a requirement that needs to be addressed in a portfolio management what-if scenario, which can also be simulated by TPG's PortfolioManager by adding new projects. To simulate adding a new project, we can create a new project as follows. In the Projects ribbon, we choose New. A dialog box opens. We fill in the information requested, name and project metadata. Once the project has been created, the resources can be allocated using the matrix command found in the Scenario ribbon, where we select the resource for the new projects. Note, using the matrix, we can also add resources to existing projects to address overallocation if resources have availability. Once resources are assigned to a new project, then the work can begin to enter the hours for the resource by time period to the project. As we do this to a new project, we can see that the project's time-phased information also begins to be displayed and summarized relative to the edits made on resource rows. Edits can be made easily and quickly using common copy and paste or dragging the information across multiple cells. With regards to new projects, rather than creating our own new project directly within TPG PortfolioManager, we may want to create or update our Portfolio Manager scenarios with new project opportunities or updated projects created and maintained within Microsoft's Project Online or even another planning platform if desired. This marks the end of our last of 3 scenarios for this video, adjusting resource availability. Of course, this presentation would not be complete if we did not say something about user administration. Note, it is also easy to add users and define permissions from TPG Core Admin, the menu item found on the left of the screen. Once there, we can select the Add button, which sends us to a blank line where we fill out the user information, name, Windows login, and email. Once finished, we update and then we click Save to save the user information.